MK and I am back with a bonus layout for Kit Conspiracy Week 1 using the 49 and Market Nature Study collection. I have two cute little photos of us doing, meeting, not doing, meeting Smokey the Bear. These are pictures of my husband's side of the family. I have grandma kissing the bear, and then I have great grandma standing next to me, standing next to the bear, with my two nieces standing in front, and then their mom standing off to the right of Smokey. So, which actually would be his left, but in the photo, it's the one on the right. So anyways, just thought I would share these. These were super fun, just a fun day that we went. The day after, the day after my nieces showed up to June Lake, which was a surprise to my husband. His dad arranged that his sister came down for the weekend, so that was super fun. But the day after, the firemen's had a picnic out in one of the lakes. Now, I think this is Gill Lake that we were at. And they invited anybody and everybody, which was really super fun. They had raffles going on. They had games that kids went and played on. There was an amazing egg toss that I thought I could have sworn were boiled eggs, because this one set of people, they tossed that egg like a charm. It was awesome, you guys. I'm just going to say. But yeah, there was all sorts of fun and games and great food. You got a food ticket. The only thing you had to buy was your drinks. And it depended on what type of drink that you were going to get. They had raffles. We got t-shirts. Some of my kids still wear the t-shirts. The others have grown out of them. And it was actually kind of nice because my boys got sweatshirts. My boys got t-shirts, and actually, no, all my kids got t-shirts. And I think I was the only one that got the sweatshirt. And as my boys grew out of them, they gifted them to their little sister. So as she grew out of each shirt as well, she just had another shirt to go into. So I thought that was pretty cool, in all honesty. But so a couple of us got blue shirts, a couple of us got red shirts. But anyways, it was just a fun day to spend with the locals, basically. We got to enjoy the heck out of the fire trucks. They had 3 different fire trucks there. They had a hose turned on. The kids got to play with the hose and feel the full power. And my boys just absolutely loved it. The nieces loved it. It was so much fun. It just really was. So anyways, thought I would do one of the layouts based off of Smokey, because he worries about our forests, right? And I figured nature study was a perfect layout for his photos to be on. I do still have, I think, a singular photo of my son meeting Smokey. I can't remember where he was, but it wasn't where everybody else was. So we were separated from the group. Doing something, I can't remember, and we ran into Smokey probably walking to the party, and we hijacked him, so to speak. And then, of course, my son, being the big kid that he is, wanted his picture with Smokey. So I have a singular one of that as well. All right, so I am going to go ahead and use, now these are all little scraps that were left over from previous layouts, and then of course I used that stripe from the packaging that I could not pass up, and I debated using it. I debated not fussy cutting out everything on the back first and then see what's left. But in all honesty, I have so much of the stuff from the embellishments and the die cuts and all that stuff that I really didn't need to fussy cut out that packaging. Now, there are some pieces that I can still fussy cut out and use, should I choose to. But I think I'll be fine if I don't remember that I still need to do that. All right, also to calm the paper down a little bit, I'm going to be putting a small little embellishment up at the top. And then, of course, it's another diagonal design where you look up at the top and then bring your eye back down, or you bring your eye down to the photos and follow it along the embellishment trail up to the top. So it's all up to you and how you basically read a book, which is, if you go left to right, then that makes sense. You follow it from the top down. But, you know, some people just go straight for the photos, and that is perfectly fine too. I'm also just going through all of my embellishments. I've got chipboard pieces, die cut pieces. I don't use a whole lot of film strips. In fact, that's the only film strip that I use, and I don't even use all of it because I'm going to cut some of it off at the top. And I'm placing them down where I feel like they're going to go. I'm trying to put those tree rings down on a layout because I thought that they worked really well with the layout. However, they don't end up making it on on the layout because, like I said, none of these really went well. The tree rings really didn't go with, it's either my photos or this collection. I'm not really sure. Or maybe I'm burnt out of tree rings because of the Lakeside collection. I don't know the answer to that. I just know that I don't end up using any of them. So I also have a ton of these chipboard elements that on the larger side, the mushrooms and the butterflies, that I did not end up using. I have a few pieces of that homemade paper that I made for my shimmers project left over, and they are the perfect size to fill in the gap between my frame and the photos. Now I'm also leaving the inner pieces of my frames inside because of the fact that those inner pieces have a small color that matches the photo. It's like a bleed over. And just in case my photo is on the little bit smaller side, I'm going to leave that negative space in there so that way the bleed over can fill in the gap, basically. And it won't be so obvious seeing the background through the frame. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere the negative piece inside using the washi tape because I think the only washi that I use, the postage stamps, are leftovers that I had from previous projects because I didn't have any more scrap paper to make more stamps. And I couldn't ask Janet for a small scrap just for, a 1 by a 1/4 inch piece. I just couldn't do it, you guys. So anyways, finishing it off with these frames. Now I debated using some of the background papers that come in the die cut pack as my frame, but they blended into the background a little bit too much. So I could not use those, or I chose not to use those. That's a better word or a better phrase. And at first I thought, well, I'm not going to use these frames either because I don't have two of the same. But then the more that I thought about it, the pictures aren't even the same either. So that's fine. And then of course, if I add this yellow frame to it, it matches, it works really well because now I've got 3 frames that don't match, but then it makes it look like they match because they are frames, right? Yes, making stuff up. That's what I do. So right now I'm going to go ahead and put everything down where I feel like it should go, but I'm not going to make you guys watch me glue it back down again. I did like the addition of these 2 hexagon pieces instead of the tree rings because then I felt like my little bee fit. Plus there's little bees and bugs all over the background of my paper. So I really liked that too. All right, so now that everything's all glued down and put in place, I do have a few other elements that I need to add to my layout that I really felt needed to be added separately instead of off camera because of the fact that I really didn't have a place for them because they were very movable parts, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish off this layout. I do have a couple interruptions while I'm gluing them down. So there are a couple pause spots when I'm being talked to because I'm still at my retreat. Like I said, this is the very last retreat that I'm going to, and I only did this week's layouts. So don't worry, the lighting will be fixed for all the rest because I will be back at my desk, and I shouldn't have those obnoxious lights flashing on my desk. So I do apologize about that, you guys. Like I said, I am being talked to. So I try to move out of the way, and then, I keep telling myself, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and, cut this part out. Well, then in the middle of editing, because it goes by so fast, I don't catch every single bit. I also have a lot of dimension on this layout. Like I said, most of these elements are chipboard. And then because of the distressing of my strips of paper, I also put dimension on the back of my photo, the green one. So a lot of dimension is on this layout, even though it doesn't look like it is. But I have at least 2 layers of chipboard in certain places on the layout. So that is it for today. I absolutely loved how it turned out. I am glad that I used this background, even though I absolutely loved the back of this piece of paper. I really, really did, but it's okay. I am a-okay with the fact that I used it, because I don't think I've used it on my other collection that I had, because I did buy 2 papers of these, knowing that I was going to have a lot of leftovers to play with. All right, you guys, that is what I have for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really, truly appreciate it. Be sure to check out Janet Fritz over on Galaxy Girl Creations. That is her channel here on YouTube, to go and see if she is doing a bonus layout for you guys today. And I will check you guys all later. Thanks. Bye.